Hello. Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Hey, Cupcake. On one. Eileen. Damn it. Ricky move, Ricky move. What's that? Warning while taking, I'll behave. What'd you do? Are you out of line already? You haven't even started. Oh, hey, that sound. How's everybody doing today? I'm good. Good here. Hi, Kelly. Why the fuck? What? That's weird. Kelly, your message just showed up on StreamYard, but not in the YouTube chat. I'm not even kidding. That's super weird. That's really, really strange. Hey, BP. Yeah, Kelly, you're like, your messages aren't showing up. I see them in StreamYard, but I'm not seeing them in YouTube. What the flying fuck? That's some fucking messed up shit right there. What the hell? Chats are messing up today, or Ruby could not see her chat at all. What the fuck? Well, yeah, because it was Sherry Beeman yesterday was having problems in Kelly's chat with some of her comments showing up, some not. But yeah, are you live on the freaking channel? Oh, that's why. That's why. I am live on the freaking network. Okay. Now I get it. Yes. I did stream to both channels today. Okay. Congratulations for fucking cluing in, Brett. Okay. Sorry, everybody. Not used to this streaming to both channels thing quite yet. I should probably go over there. Oops. Yeah, one watching, probably Kelly. Yeah, Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, so Kelly's over on the freaking network because I put it on that channel too. Being that it was like talking about the topic of we were want to talk about. Holy shit balls, that's funny. Oops. Hi Genevieve. Welcome. No, Kelly, it's okay. It's all good. I was just weirded out where it's like, oh yeah, right. I'm streaming to the other channel too. So the comments from both channels go to the same StreamYard. You can't see each other's chats. Man, that's funny. Okay, one sec. Hi.
I'm lonely, and that was weird because I didn't even push StreamYard. It just automatically took me there.
Oh, that was funny. I'm like, why are Kelly's comments like showing up in StreamYard, but like not on YouTube? And it's like you asked about freaking. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm streaming to both channels. Hi.
You
Wakey
pop
wake.
you popped that link up, and I saw the link, and all of a sudden it disappeared. And then it took me to StreamYard. I didn't even push it
Wow. What the
because
heck? That's so
because I was writing as you put that up there. I'm lonely over here, and then all of a sudden I'm here.
crazy.
I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't even touch nothing.
Good morning, Carly. Good morning, Cactus. Good morning, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Weird things are happening. Yeah, apparently. What the heck? Crazy.
Hello,
But
everybody. I'm not lonely anymore.
the Cactus, that one was my bad because I'm streaming to the freaking network right now, too.
Oh my gosh, that was so
And that's,
weird. You're
yeah, that's
reading
just my,
hello, hello, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's no one in here but me.
so my bad.
Oh, but that was weird. You just popped up that link, and then all of a sudden everything went blank, and then the StreamYard came up.
Wow,
I didn't even push it.
that's crazy.
Right. Some crazy
Totally.
crap going on.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So yeah, there was a good discussion happening in another channel, and I tried to join their panel, but it didn't quite work out. I couldn't get a word in, and then they started fighting. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go fire up my own live stream because I wanted to talk about it. Yeah, the one guy had said I agreed with on a lot of fronts, like pretty much everything he said, most everything he said, anyways. And oh, I gotta switch to do that one. Sorry, Gen G's over in the freaking network, and usually the people get wrenches over there. But yeah, I agreed with most of the things he said. And one, like he was talking, I loved that he like referred to what's happening as fascism, and like we have a fascist society. Like they were talking about police forces and governments and like even the banking systems, etc. Like all of that, and it's very fascist, like all of it. And you know, there was a comment. They didn't last too long on the topic, which was unfortunate. But there was a topic of the system being like not fixable anymore. Eric,
no, that's
and it
kind of funny since they consider us the fascists.
right. So it will. I found it really interesting where it's like is the system still fixable? Like, or are we just wasting our time trying to come up with solutions to fix it? And like, instead, maybe we should be doing both, preparing for the worst and hoping for the best. It just brought it was an interesting thing as to where like people's mindsets kind of were as to the system being fixable or not. I know a lot of other people, I'm not going to speak for anybody or say anybody's names, but there's a lot of other people that also, and feel that the system is not fixable at this point anymore. It's way too far gone. And it just made me wonder, like, how do other people feel about that? I don't know. It was interesting. I'd like to think we can still fix shit, but I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Sorry, I'm commenting on in chat.
No problem. I
Oh,
feel small community is the way, though. Oh, you're all good, Genji. If I had my devices the other way around, it'd be a lot easier for me. I totally like brain farted on that one. Maybe I'll do that quick. Here, I'll just do that. Okay, hold on.
I agree with that, BP4. They tested it, it worked, and now there's no going back, in my opinion. Yep. I'd like to know what was in it. We don't even know what was in it. Good morning, Gangster Granny. Sorry, can't talk right now. Hello?
Hi
Who's that?
guys,
Oh, that's Mechanic Eric. Hello.
Mechanic Eric. Yeah,
How
just
are
sitting here
you? I
waiting.
haven't seen you in a while.
How's it going, Eric?
Busy. I'm actually sitting
Yeah?
at the asphalt plant right now, waiting to get loaded, or waiting to get told to get loaded. So I
Yeah.
figured I'd sit here and hop on, say hi. I haven't been on in a
Hello.
while. So how are you guys all doing?
Doing good.
Yeah.
Good, man.
So,
How's it going with you?
well, same shit, different day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in the truck. I'm working, so that's nice.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Truck's back
So what do you think,
working.
Eric? Fixable, unfixable?
The optimist in me hopes it's fixable, but the realist in me sits here and tells me that we're probably fucked. That's the
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth. As much as I would like it to be, that we could be fixable, I just, I don't think it actually is. I really don't. I think we're just screwed. We're all kind of fooling ourselves. Unfortunately.
I totally, yeah, I can definitely hear that. Like,
Yeah.
the optimist wants to think we can still fix this. The realist is like, we should probably we're gonna start looking at like a bug out plan.
Yeah, I think it's so far gone that it's going to come down to people having to do drastic things, and I don't think there's enough people that are going to do those drastic things. And I think it even if anybody wanted to, the government's so good at squashing it. Nobody's going to organize it. It's not
Yeah,
going to be.
there's gonna be
It's
a
not going
lot
to
of
happen.
I told you so's.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know. So you guys think Biden's gonna make it to be president again?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, my prediction is that they're gonna run him out because finally the Democrats have figured out he's lost it. But instead of him bowing out for mental illness or something like that, they're gonna bring the hammer down with all the Hunter Biden and the corruption stuff, and they're gonna get him out of running, and they're
Yeah.
gonna force him not to run, and then they're gonna come up with some other candidate. That's my prediction. Now the question is, do you think Trump is going to win,
No.
or do you think the Democrats are going to win again?
I don't think it'll be the Trump. If he makes it through the primaries, I'll be surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
He's like the front runner. Nobody else has stepped up. that's going to challenge him. So
Nobody's
know.
stepping up.
well, I haven't heard of anybody that said that they were running on the Republican side other than Trump. That
Well,
really
that
has a
speaks
shot.
volumes. That speaks volumes.
I mean,
Okay, well that now do do people actually honestly believe and think that it's going to be some one man that's going to be some savior and just fix everything in the whole corrupt, broken system? Or is
No,
that maybe fooling ourselves a bit?
I think
Well,
that's one themselves.
That's the big problem I'm having and seeing is that there are so many people so bloody blind and looking for anything to grab and hold on to that they're putting this one man that is, in my estimation, view and observations, opinion, is just a puppet. You're
yeah,
expecting this person to save your entire nation and society, etc. Like it doesn't seem realistic at all. Like to me,
yeah.
it's I don't know. To me, that's just it's not how it's gonna happen. It's not how it's gonna work.
Well, from the Republican side, you know, what Trump's kind of shown is that he doesn't play ball with the normal system, and I think that's what a lot of people like is he's anti-establishment. He's not playing their game. Hence, why they go after him so hard is because he's not a team player. He's not playing their game. He gets in for the next four, and the gloves are off. You know, he can pretty much do whatever he wants. He doesn't have to play nice. He can sit here and he can start dismantling whatever the hell he wants to dismantle because that's his
See,
last term. You know?
I view it as controlled opposition.
Yeah.
That's what I view it as. Let me put it this way, Eric. Hitler was supposed to be against the establishment and like for the German people and etc. Right? It's the exact same fucking thing. The
Yeah.
exact same mentality. Hitler's gonna save the German people, make Germany fucking great again. Look, and Hitler's gonna save us from the bankers and the establishment, blah blah. And look what fucking happened, right?
Yeah.
So this whole one man's gonna save us, and to me, there's a whole controlled opposition thing that is going on with that, and nothing is as it appears. Nothing is ever as it appears, and I think people have really kind of forgotten and lost that the world is theater and stage, and there's
Yeah.
controlled opposition and narratives that are presented. You know, even with the conspiracy theorists and whatever. There's a ton of shit that's released and done on purpose. Like,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, I agree with
I
that. And
think
my standing is
Well,
there's a reason why why they opened up the borders. They're making sure that that the Republican Party is done.
oh, I mean, having the open borders right now, if you guys actually go to there's a website actually from Border Patrol that actually shows where people are coming from. And in 2 months, last time I checked, we were only 2 months into this year. We had more people from China come to America than in 2 months than had came in over 2 years. Okay. And here we're on the brink of going to war with Russia and China, and we've got regular army age Chinese people flooding into this country. You know, I mean, coincidence, that now we have this uptick of people from China and we're about to go to war potentially with China. I mean, come on. Do you know how vulnerable the electrical system is? There was a study actually done that 9 locations in the United States, if sabotaged, could take down the entire power grid of the entire northern hemisphere of the United States, North America, Canada too. It would take them out too, and it's 9 substations. That's it. And this was an official report done by the government that sat here and said that this was a vulnerability. And this isn't like these people would have to like get to the substation. You could actually do this, with a rifle from yards away And you guys look at any substation, it's not like they're secured. It's not like you're going to a power plant. You're going to a substation. They're in the middle of nowhere. There's, a fence, and all it takes is, a couple acts of sabotage. And we've got thousands and thousands of people that could be sabotaging our country right now, just flooding in through the border, So I don't know. I'm doing my job. I'm making my money. It's which is probably going to be worthless because come July we got that Fed dollar thing going into effect, which is probably going to make all the cash I got worth nothing. I went out, I bought a brand new car. I figured, well, at least if I pay for it now and I agree to a price now and my money is worth nothing, well, the cost of what they said the car cost is worth nothing too, so it equals out. Maybe I'll get lucky like how Venezuela did and their money became worthless and kids were playing with it in the street and I could just pay off my car with money I find laying around on the street. Because they still have to accept it because that's what the terms of the contract were. So I went out and bought a brand new car. Like, screw it. Why not? After your money becomes worthless, that $30,000 car and now be a $500,000 car. Might as well buy it now. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I apologize if anybody's talking to me in the chat. I only have one device, so
No,
so I
it's all
really
good.
hadn't been checking the chat. Hi, Taurus. Hi, Mom of One. Hi, Chilled. Hi, Breezy. Hi, Gangster Granny. I'm kind of looking through right now. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's the only, Trump is the only one that seems to be pushing back against the system.
Seems to be.
Love him.
Seems to be is the key words there.
Yeah.
Seems to be. That's the same.
Yeah.
We're getting it here in Canada too. It's controlled opposition where the politicians that seem to be pushing back and saying the right things, ear fucking the people, are getting all the time, attention, and accolades. And it's like people, for whatever reason, can't seem to see through it. Where I saw that last night. And, this person that took part in the Freedom Convoy, and they're all like campaigning for the fucking conservatives. And it's like, we literally exposed them as corrupt with the World Economic Forum. Well, like, why are you trading one corrupt fucking party for another? Just because Polove is fucking ear fucking us, saying the right things, making it seem like he's going against them? Like, what the fuck? Like, why can't people see through this shit? Especially, like, I get the propaganda drunk people who don't know any better, to just go through their life, as whatever. I'm not going to pick on anybody or anything like that, but you know what I mean? Like, they just go, they wake up, they watch the news, they go to work, they come home, they take their kid to practice, eat dinner, blah, 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 watch the news, get up the next day, do it all over again. Those ones I understand. Those ones I understand. Not really like knowing any better or whatever, right? But like those of us that know better, like literally at the border blockade, like there were so many conversations I was part of that was talking about the conservatives and exposing the corruption with the World Economic Forum, etc. Like so many conversations about that. And then people are like, oh yeah, we need to vote conservative. Like, what the fuck? Like, how quickly we forget. Like, I can't even, it just blows me away. Hey, God's Plan.
Hi, Hot Damn. Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, now that I'm back to my normal routine of stuff, I get up, I go to work, I do some stuff, I fix some projects and stuff, and I go to bed. I really haven't been following any of the news. I might pop on TikTok and get, a couple of TikTok things, and I'll see something come up on TikTok. So, I've heard that they're going after Hunter Biden, and I've heard that they've connected Joe Biden to it. And I mean, I've heard a few things here and there, but I'm so out of loop on what's going on with the political stuff right now. I have no clue. And I mean, that's how a lot of people I think are. You have to actually sit down and to have the time to research it. And, unfortunately for a lot of people, they don't make the time, and I haven't either, to be perfectly honest.
Oh,
You
I
know?
definitely agree. It takes work to actually be informed. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's yeah, it takes effort and work for sure, 100%.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
I just
I agree
wanna
with Mom of One. Nothing will happen to the Bidens. This is just a smoke screen to get
yeah.
people away from the border.
Well,
I wanted
I
to
don't think anything's going to happen to Biden in the
No.
aspect of him going to jail, but I think it's going to be enough of a schmear to sit here and get him not to run again. And I think that's the goal.
Yeah.
Is they're not going to prosecute him, but they're going to dirty him up enough that he steps down and he doesn't run again. And I think that's all they're trying to accomplish. I mean, we know that Hillary sat here and deleted those emails. If anybody else in the entire United States did that, we would have gone to jail. They never prosecute. That's the thing.
Yep.
They, do what I say, not what I do. They never
Hi,
prosecute.
Dagmar.
Hey,
Hi,
Dagmar.
Dagmar. Yeah.
I wanted to address a comment, if I could, by Kit Kat before it gets too far away, where she said,
Okay.
we can't compare any of our presidents to Hitler. And that's Kit Kat. What I was saying was, it's the recognizing that how things happened in the past. And so if you recognize how they happened in the past, like how the Germans got turned into Nazis, like Germans are very intelligent. They're one of the most highly educated people on the planet. Like you were able to turn a society of well-educated people into like thinking a specific ethnic group was the reason for all their problems in their country. Or like they also blamed immigrants and refugees. So recognizing the mechanisms of what happened to turn those people into that and how it's actually repeating. You're seeing the same thing happen again. I'm not, is Trump Hitler? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that attitude that's being taken is very reminiscent of another era where the Germans were like, oh, Hitler is going to make Germany great again. Like, one man's going to save us. This is a person that's standing up against the bankers and against the system. And all that shit is that same, sort of mentality is forming and shaping again. And there's just those of us that are calling out the red flag. So I wasn't saying Trump is Hitler, but there has to be some recognition that, hey, red flag, red flag, red flag. Like you get enough of these red flags going off and it's like, hey, this behavior, this attitude starts to like fall in line and be comparable to things that have happened from our past. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I
Carly
think
Sayer
of that.
said,
Sorry.
yeah. No, you're
Hi,
fine.
Angie.
Carly Sayer said that we should be able to vote on policies, not parties, and we need smaller government. I mean, we need to stop having these mega bills, where it's
Yeah.
like it's a stack this tall of crap that they're all packing in, because I may agree with something, but I shouldn't have to sit here and agree to every freaking thing in the bill just to sit here and get the one thing I approve of passed. I think this bundling of crap together is a problem, because they sit here and they use that to try to get stuff slipped in under the radar.
Right.
They need to sit here and just make it, this is what we're running. If you want to do that stupid separate thing, then do it separate, not bundle it. This bundling crap is stupid, and it's taking advantage of people.
Yep.
Oh, I'm just waiting on the boss to text me. This is gonna be a fun day. He didn't have a job lined up for today, so he woke me up, told me to sit here and go to the plant, and he's hustling to find a job, and I guess he found one. So now I guess the guys are prepping the job, so I'm just sitting here waiting.
Oh, thanks for hanging out and jumping on panel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
might as well.
Discussing
I
the
haven't been
topic.
streaming. Yeah. Well, I really haven't set the truck up for streaming, and I find that when I did it last year, it was kind of a pain in the ass because I unlike Gary, um, I don't run along the freeways. I run in a lot of country roads, so it was always hard to keep a signal up. So it was like, you know, so I figured, you were on. Figured I'd say hi. I haven't been live for a while. People are starting to think I died or something. So I figured I'd pop on because I'm just sitting here stationary, anyways. But yeah, National Citizens Inquiries are live today in Ottawa. All right. What's that
Copy
all
that,
about,
BP.
Brett? What's that about?
The citizens are, yeah. The citizens are not happy with our current government.
Yeah.
Hi,
Well,
Wendy.
I think there's a lot of people that are not happy. I even think the Democrats here in the United States aren't really happy with the government. I think
BP,
the
if you have a link
government's.
for that, you can drop it. Sorry, Eric.
I think you're fine. I think the government, all in all, is at an all-time low of public opinion. I don't think anybody believes the government's doing a good job. That's a sad thing that we've all lost faith in our government. Personally, I think we're sanctioned. I think other countries have actually sanctioned the United States. I think that's why when you go to the stores, you notice that the shelves aren't as stocked as they've always been. They try to blame it on the whole C thing, but I think we're being sanctioned by other countries. I think we're the one that everybody's kind of coming after. The world
Well,
is coming after
if
us now.
BP says interviews with the citizens of Canada about the jabby jab and their side effects.
Mhm.
If you control the means of production, like you can cut production and then increase your costs or increase your the price, right?
Yeah.
Because supply and demand. So if you cut the supply and increase the demand, now you can increase your pricing. And also, it's I've said for a long time, like decades, that the goal is to have us at war with each other in the streets. Like, you can't get fucking baby formula for your baby and food on your table, and they're cutting your power, etc. Well, holy fuck, it's not going to be long before society descends into chaos a bit. So it's quite frightening when you think about it. That if you went a week without food in your grocery stores and without power, how much of, especially in the cities, fuck me, there would be mass chaos. Like there would start to be war in the streets over food, baby formula, like whatever.
Well, and then imagine the power grid goes down.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, we're like I said, this joint effort between Russia and China right now should be scaring the shit out of people. If that doesn't scare the shit out of you right now, that two of the other biggest countries in the whole world are uniting, and that Saudi Arabia is now going to trade in currency that's not the US dollar for oil, if that doesn't start waking you up to the fact that we're the bad guys on the world table, and that the world is now sitting here and saying the United States is nothing, that's pretty sad situation.
Well, I've been saying that for a long time too. Like we are the baddies. Like we're the spear tip of the new world order agendas. Like, we're the ones that are the countries that say no. They get placed under sanction or bombed or whatever. It's economic warfare or outright warfare. If you don't go along with the new world order agenda, you are demonized and invaded or sanctioned or whatever. Like we are that tip of the spear. So what's that?
Yeah.
Insurrectionists.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like we are that tip of the spear for the new world order. We are the baddies. Like, and it's to try and convince people of that is crazy. But in the same token, in regard, You know, the president of China attends the same World Economic Forums as the Prime Minister of Canada. It's, you know, the same bankers control both monetary systems. And if all wars
Yeah.
are banker wars, then, you know, it goes far and above any one country at this point, which I think, to me, we really got to start. We have this global community now, the internet especially, like it's very much everything it's all global. Like it's not just, you got to start to think of the heads of countries like your fucking governors or something for your heads of states. Like they've shrunk the planet, where the prime minister of Canada and, like, you know, the president of China, etc., that would be like, you know, the governors of fucking Wisconsin and Illinois. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
that's where that globalization has come in now, where these world leaders of the countries, they're all attending the same functions in Davos, etc., getting their marching orders, getting the plans, whatever. Lots of controlled opposition too, in my mind, how I see it anyways.
well, do you
Because I'm
think
not
that
freaked out about China and Russia. Sorry?
the World Economic Forum and the New World Order are in the same category, only they just changed the name? Because New World
Well,
Order
one,
sounds like, oh my gosh, I mean, it has a different feeling than World Economics, because it's got the economics word in there, that people are all for it because it's got the word economic in it, for the World, Economic Forum, which everybody's
the
for. But
the
New
the
World
New World
Order,
Order
everybody's
would
like,
be,
wait a minute, that sounds evil. You know what I mean?
well, that would be more of like the agenda that's going through, and the World Economic Forum would just be a support mechanism of that sort of ideology. So,
Right.
like, the New World Order coming in with a one world government and, you know, all that kind of crap or whatever. The World Economic Forum is a support mechanism of that. Same as, like, you know, BlackRock and, you know, Vanguard, and there's, you know, the Gates Foundation. There's supporting mechanisms that are all in place for this New World Order agenda to come to fruition. And that's what we're really fighting against, are this New World Order agenda coming in and all these support mechanisms that are enabling it and making it all happen. But we seem, yeah, I'm not sure. We seem almost
I agree, Winnie McLean. I mean,
incapable.
yeah, they're all sleeping in the same bed. I mean, but they just, I mean, to me, World Economic Forum sounds a lot better than New World Order. You know what I mean? It's like,
No,
that's an order.
you're not understanding, Kelly. You're not understanding what I'm saying there. The New World Order, that's the ideology. That's not a corporation or anything. That's the ideology, the group of people that are doing it, whatever. The World Economic Forum
Right,
is a support mechanism for that ideology.
right, right. But you don't
So,
use New World Order anymore. Nobody
well,
really uses it because it's got the word order in it, and you don't order me around. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah.
seriously.
To clarify too, like, that rhetoric that I'm using there, that came from, like, George Bush Sr. and, like, Henry Kissinger. Like, this isn't that's not rhetoric from some kind of propaganda blog or something like that. Like, that's, you know, from the former president of the United States. And, Henry Kissinger's, yeah, he had held multiple positions in U.S. government through spanning many, many decades and many freaking presidents. Like,
Yes, it has. I mean, it has been around for a long, long time.
no, BP, the New World Order created the WEF. That's the other way around. Oh, we're getting some bad feedback there.
Yeah, you sounded a little glitchy for a second there.
I checked all of our mic settings. They all seem to be good.
Yeah.
Yancey says we're so fucked. I put up a new poll. Hey, JJ. I put up a new poll. So maybe that'll asking the question of basically the title of the screen. Excuse me.
I'll have to check it out.
Oh,
I don't know. The popular opinion seems to be we're so fucked.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Oh, I think so. I agree. I love
So
getting
what do you-
paid just to sit.
Chilled. Actually, thank you for reminding me that you just totally reminded me of something that I wanted to talk about, because I definitely agree with that. And I was thinking about it earlier, like maybe like we keep thinking we have to like, you know, unify all these people and it's going to take everyone, etc. And it's like the realist is now in me is like, that's never going to happen. But I was thinking earlier that what we really need to do is like be pressuring our police and military. Like maybe it's not we need to awaken everyone, it's that we need to awaken the right ones and get the right ones on our team.
But Brett, here's the situation with that. With the whole, stabby stab, they cleaned house with all the military people that were free thinkers. All the people that sat there and said, fuck this, no way, they left
Right?
the military. So
Yep.
now you got all the people that just blindly follow orders.
Yep.
That's who's in the military now. That's so unfortunately, all those people that stepped down and said, fuck this, I'm done. I'm not getting it. They're the ones that would have objected to these illegal orders from the government. Now
Oh
you've
yeah,
got people that just step in line.
I agree with that 100%.
So I mean that's just the way it is. They did a full cleaning of house on the military.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
And everything else.
I'm trying to think of solutions, right? I'm trying to think of something, anything. Like if we're gonna have any kind of hope to fix anything, then we're gonna probably need more police on our side.
Yeah. Well, ultimately, it's gonna have to come down to the only road path that I see is if the states start telling the federal government, go fuck yourself. If more of the states stand up, like some of these states and counties have gone, like the ATF was sitting here putting in new rules and stuff, and these counties and these states were sitting here saying, "Nope, we're just not going to agree with that." Kind of like they're doing with the legalization of drugs. It's legal in states, but federally it's still not. So I mean, when the states start standing up and just telling the federal government, "Nope, we're not going to play ball," I think that's the only real shot, because the federal government doesn't want to give up power. And so you can't expect the federal government to do anything that's going to take away their control over us. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I do.
So yeah, I mean that goes. We were talking about that before as a solution, is to, it kind of is back to what we were talking about, or what they were talking about earlier in chat with the smaller first type deal thing. And I definitely would agree with that. We have to, especially control your local. That's where it's going to affect your day-to-day life the most, is locally, like your municipality.
Yeah.
And like take back the one at a time. It's going to be a slow process of climbing ladders, but if it's going to be fixed, that's in my mind as well. I agree how to do it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, a vast majority of Republicans and Democrats all agree that there should be term limits, but the government's not going to do it. It's not going to happen, even though overwhelming majority of Republicans and Democrats all agree that there should be term limits. That would mean that the government's going to lose control, because they're not going to be able to stay there forever. So it's not going to happen. Mark my words. I'm willing to bet money on it. It'll never happen. So,
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm watching a farmer plowing.
Well, I mean, I understand that some people had to get the jab to keep their jobs, but that's still, I mean, that they still, I mean, and they have the right to say, I'm still against it, but I had to keep my job. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have a
And
house to pay for. I have kids to raise. I have,
Yep.
you know, people got the jab because they didn't want to lose their jobs.
and
Well,
see the
isn't
problem.
that a form of control right there? You're going to lose your job if you don't.
Yeah.
You know,
And
what
see,
if down the
and
road
see
they say
that's
the only way that you can get, you know, any kind of leg up because we are going to be rich or we're going to be poor because they're going to cut out the middle class is okay, you're not going to get your food stamps unless you give up one of your children. Are you
see
willing
that.
to give up one of your children so you can have food and keep your job?
Unfortunately, it should have been at that point when they were sitting here and they were threatening people's jobs that everybody should have said, "Nope, we're just not doing it." You know, that's when
Right.
everybody should just stood up and said, "Nope, we're just not going to do it." You know, and unfortunately, we didn't do that because
Right.
we could have forced the government's hand right then and there. You know, but
Mm-hmm.
there were people that sat here and said, "Well, I got to do it for my job." Well, if enough people would have just said, "Nope, I'm not doing it," then the government would have had to reverse on it. Or if we would have started marching on that, oh,
Yeah.
go home, stay inside. Nope, screw it. We're going to go storm the Capitol. That's what we should have done. That's what we should have done right then and there. Everybody that sat here and disagreed with it should have sat here and stormed the Capitol. I'm dead
I would
serious.
give up one of
Landon.
my kids for food. The other one is okay.
Landon. That's funny.
I mean, I'm
Landon's a shirt
serious.
person,
I
man.
mean,
That's pretty funny.
if you look at if you watch the movie Hunger Games, that's basically what it was.
Mhm.
Is how the world controlled you by saying, okay, you're going to have to choose which one of your children go in order for you to
Quote
have
unquote.
any kind of means. I mean, and if you look at history, most of the things that we've seen in past movies have come true today. And I think that's pretty much, hello, here's a window. Are you going to look through it or aren't you? And that's just how I see things, because who would have thought whenever you were watching Star Trek that we'd have these little mechanisms that we could call people?
Yeah.
Who would have thought that we would have had holograms sitting in our living rooms? No,
Yeah.
back in them days, that was science fiction. Well, science fiction's coming to life in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's strange how that happens, but it's like oh, well, that's a cool idea. Let's try it.
Yeah. I don't remember the exact phrase, but it's something about you know, being naive to something is bliss.
Yeah,
And I mean, people like being that way. People like having the wool pulled over their eyes and not really taking a deep look at anything. As long as it doesn't directly affect you. And I have to admit, I could have given two shits what the government was doing for years, because ultimately, in my day to day life, nothing the government did directly really affected me in my
right.
day to day life. I think the first thing that directly affected me was Obamacare. When
Yeah,
my when I ended up having to do the whole Obamacare thing, and because I fell in the crack between making just enough money that I couldn't get on the free program, but not enough money for this or whatever, I was paying. God, I can't even remember, but it was sickening amount every month. I mean, it was a lot. It was like $400 or $500. I mean, it was really bad. It was really bad, and that was really the first political thing that happened that made me go, what the fuck is going on? So then I starting to pay a little bit more attention to political stuff, and that's
Mm-hmm.
really what it was. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I can completely understand that. When my retired
Like,
husband had to go back to work just to pay for health insurance, go back
all
full
right.
time, not just to work, but work full time after
Well,
retirement to
I
pay
just
for
got
health
the
insurance.
message. I just got the message. I got to go back to work. So
All
you
right,
guys all
Eric, it
take
was good
care.
talking to you.
It was nice seeing you guys. Have fun,
Yeah.
and
good
I'm
seeing
gonna
you,
get
Eric.
out of here. Bye,
All
guys.
righty.
Thanks for popping in.
Bye, hon.
Thanks for popping in. I'll be nice, actually. Fucking sorry for being an asshole. Do, 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 do.
Yeah. I'm not planning on giving up. I'm planning on, I mean, I don't want to just say, oh, fuck it and just let it go. Excuse my language, people. But
We swear here.
we're not, it's going to take a lot of waking up. And I do see people waking up. I see a lot of, other parties switching. Hate to say that, Brett, but a lot of parties switching because they do see the wrong that's going on. And I don't want to, I mean, we just have to recognize what is happening and start trying to educate other people, our children, for one, because this is going to take, I mean, it's right now we're just getting a taste of it. We're getting the beginnings of it. By the time this is all done, it could be our grandkids that are getting the full fledged. And if we talk to our kids, write things down, let them know what's what, like I said before, we're not even going to have to leave our houses anymore. We
Yeah,
can work from home. We can get our shit delivered to us. And kids aren't going to know that. They're not going to know what it's like to go and buy your clothes at a store and shop. Go in and try on an outfit. They're not going to know any of that. They're closing all that crap down.
I agree, Cactus. I definitely agree. That's the Cactus. That's why I was saying before. I feel strongly where it's cool to care. Like, you got to care. If you don't care, then
Yeah,
we're fucked.
right. It hasn't hit them yet very much. It's starting to, but it's not hitting them bad enough.
I definitely agree with that. There's only that, and that's something I've been very much reminded of lately. Where, like, I've been turned on to politics and etc. for like 30 years, where it's been my hobby and pay close attention and etc. And a lot of other people haven't, and it's not by accident. They've made politics boring and not interesting, and it turns people off so people don't know what's going on and etc. And a lot of people didn't start paying attention until like COVID, or like Eric said, with something like Obamacare, because it directly affected him. And that's when people kind of,
Right.
it has to actually make some kind of impact on you. Then you actually start to pay attention. Well,
Yeah.
for the majority, anyways. Not that's not how it happened with me, but for the majority.
Well, I agree. Mine started with the Obamacare. Whenever I was paying so much in health insurance, and I mean, because I didn't qualify for Obamacare. Everybody says, "Well, didn't you get stimulus checks? Didn't you get no?" I did not get nothing whenever they shut things down. We got nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't get stimulus. I didn't get what is it whenever you lose your job and you get unemployment checks. I didn't get that. I didn't get no unemployment, nothing, because they put me on furlough since I was a manager. That way they could call me back whenever they wanted to. So I didn't get food stamps. We got nothing. My daughter did. She got all that because she had children. I didn't. The only thing we got was a break on our business expenses because it was a business and we had to close down. But it went back to the business. It paid the business expenses. I still had light bills. I still had the rent bill. But it took all of it.
So I'm just putting something in chat.
Yeah, Angie.
Yeah, if you're not turned on to politics, politics will turn on you, by Ralph Nader.
Yes.
And that's a very, very true and accurate comment. Like, if you don't know what your politicians are doing, like, yeah, if you're not turned on to what the heck they're doing and keeping informed, and
That's 100%
again,
correct.
it takes work to actually be informed. They're not just going to tell you everything they're doing. You got to actually dig and like work at it. Then yeah, if you're not turned on to politics, politics will definitely turn on you. They'll definitely bend you right over and fuck you up the ass for sure. Not in a nice way. And I caught that about the teens. That's not entirely true. I have seen. Like, granted, I live in Alberta, and Alberta is like, we're very much live and let live, and we, the common expressionist theme, I guess, would be, they've been pretty anti-Ottawa for a long time, etc. But so I do live in a very, where I live helps a lot. But there's lots of teens that I see that are, aware of what's. I guess that's my circle too, but I see it. I see young people. I see when the convoys and stuff were going on, there was lots of teens driving around with flags off their trucks, and
Right.
it was actually good to see. There was a lot of young people that were on it. Again, granted, where I live has a big part to do with that, but
Yeah, the kids are trained in our schools and social media. And they're trained not, they're being programmed, in my opinion. They're being programmed to believe what they want you to believe. So
pardon me. I just noticed my device hasn't been like going dark. I just noticed my device I've been streaming on hasn't been going dark. That's handy.
Really, what are you on?
Chrome. Chrome, I have the least amount of problems. I just have to touch the screen all the time, but it hasn't been doing it, so that's cool.
I have.
Yeah, JJ, it's a double-edged sword there with social media, where it helps awaken too, but at the same time, it's also like we're fighting censorship, and the other side are pushing out, their narratives and agendas and conditioning, and
Yeah, exactly. Is that Jicky?
Jicky.
Jicky. I almost said Jackie, and then I noticed there was an I in there. It starts at home. It starts with the parents being involved. Yes, yes. Well, some of that on chilled is if you do fight against what you don't want your daughter to be taught, or your son or daughter to be taught, then you get pushed out. They call the FBI and agree to go to your houses. They pushed back as much as they possibly can. My thing
that
is,
was
when my daughter was school, I fought back from I didn't really fight back. I just kind of put them in their place. But my daughter was going to be on Good Morning America. And it was on the same day as the testing, the MAP testing or whatever that is, where the schools get funding. And she was going to have to miss that day. And that school argued with me and fought me up and down. And I'm like, look, if it's not going to affect her grade, I'm not too worried about it. Well, it affects it affects funding. That's not my problem. That's not my problem. My problem is it's not going to affect my daughter's grade. So she's not going to be here. I'm sorry, she's just not. Can she make it up? No, there's no making it up. Okay, then that's your problem. That becomes your problem again. I'm willing to come in on a Saturday and have her make it up. And yes, they stalk you, send you threatening letters. Exactly. They do not like it whenever you push back on the school board. They do not like it at all. I just won't send her that day.
Yeah,
and that
Wendy.
was a bigger ordeal than her missing a math test. That was more of a big deal than her missing a math test, and not MATH. I was like, well, okay, maybe if we stop bringing our kids on the day that you get funding, maybe you'll start listening to the parents. So I tell everybody, don't like it, don't send your kid on the day of math testing. Seriously.
Yeah, that's
Because that
not a
hits them where it
bad
hurts.
suggestion. Yeah. Well, and it's strategic too, right? Like that's
Exactly.
yeah. Yeah, I say Chilled saying some very good things in chat today here too.
Yep.
But yeah, like Wendy, I agree with what you were saying there, and yeah, it's again not by accident, but by design, in my mind. A lot of everything that's happening is all by design and plan. But yeah, it reminded me that I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I went back to Germany again, where it's like, they targeted the youth, like, the Nazis or whatever. It wasn't, the older generation that lived beside their Jewish neighbor for years. They tried to help them, right? Like it was the youth that were easily turned or not easy. I don't want to paint too much of a picture, but there was a whole youth targeting thing that happened. It was the generation coming up that was targeted, etc. And same as they're doing in my mind now with targeting youth for all kinds of weird shit.
Yeah.
It's like we're becoming. If you guys watch the Back to the Future movies,
Yep.
you remember part 2 where they go to fucking Biff World in the future?
Yeah.
And it's all like, yeah, it's that's where I see our society going. Like Biff World from Back to the Future 2. It's being facetious, but
Yeah.
it's not funny. It's scary, but holy
I see
shit.
our world going back to, Mad Max.
Well, we were talking the other day, a couple of us, we were just shooting the shit, theorizing, being goofy, whatever. And people were talking about, like, if you're going to, stockpile arms, or like, what you're going to do to kind of prepare or whatever. Like, people are saying like, oh, I'm going to get, motion sensor cameras and blah, blah, like this, that, whatever. And asked me, and I was like, yeah, need to learn how to fucking build and operate EMPs. Like, that's what I want.
Right?
Yeah, that's EMP is probably going to save us long before anything else, with all these remote drones. Like, I was watching a military video the other day from, like, they were talking about drones that were being produced for militaries back in like 2013. And then, like, it was like 2013, 2014, and then this was being projected for 2015. So this is like 10 years ago. And holy shitballs, was it ever concerning? Like, these small little tiny drones that are like the size of your finger, where be nothing to just put a laser on there. Another drone, bigger one, could drop a laser guided missile. Like, there's no humans got to be anywhere even remotely close to you to have a very precision attack, strike, whatever. And this was 10 years ago. Like, you can
Yeah.
only imagine where they've gone now, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And to me, in my mind, it was like, yeah, I want an EMP. Like, that's what I want. That's going to
Yeah.
probably protect our vicinity more than most, but still, they can fire a missile at you from, miles away, right? So they really want you dead, you will be.
Exactly. Dagmar. And everybody will get a brand new name. You'll be unidentifiable. Well, how many people are being identified as the cat in the house? I mean, everybody's changing their identities. And we're
Yeah,
already
I
known
always
as numbers. We're already
I
known as
always say that
numbers.
now. I always say that now. I identify as blah 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 blah. I don't cuss, but holy shit balls, you're right. Is that to say, Wendy?
You'll
Excuse me.
become a password. How many people have so many passwords that they can't? I mean, I have to have a notebook. What's your password? I just gave you my name. That should be enough.
Scan your barcode. Scan your chip.
Yeah.
Yeah, concerning. Well, and there was a bunch of us that felt it, when the whole sea event started, there was a bunch of us that were like raising red flags immediately. And we were saying, like, pushing these freaking, the jabby jabs and stuff. We were saying, like, it's going to end up with like papers, please. And it's, there's so many red flags that
Yep.
show us that we're going down the road of Nazi Germany. Like, they just keep coming one after another, after another, after another. And it's like, holy fuck, why are they not coming? Like, why are people not seeing it? Like, weirds me out.
Yep. I agree. No
Education is
chips
way better
either,
than
but
it
we
used to
already are
be.
a chip.
Kids
How
are
many
light years
things
ahead
do
of
we
where
have
they
that
were
have
40 years
chips in them?
ago. The problem is a lot of red states don't fund education. The parents pay no attention to their kids. That was evident during the pandemic.
Damn.
No, that's totally wrong, Al. Education is not better than it used to be. It's actually a lot worse. George Carlin did a great skit on that, where they just, we'll just lower the passing grade, and don't worry about it. We'll just
No
lower the
kids left
passing grade.
behind.
Yeah, and as George Carlin said, it's part of George Carlin's skit, and he says, it won't be long before all you need to get into university is a fucking pencil, like, excuse me. So yeah, they very much are dumbing down the education system, like big time. Al, check your U.S. statistics. Al's over in the freaking network right now, by the way, guys. But yeah, if you check your statistics, like the U.S. is not like super high in the education department, man. Like they don't want people well educated and critical thinking. That's not in
No.
their best interest. As George Carlin said.
Unless you have money. Unless you have money to put your kid through the best schools, the best education, then no, you're not going to get the best education. And, this child left behind stuff, if you didn't do good in school or you missed school or you didn't have good grades, you stayed back. You stayed back. Now you can go, it doesn't matter what your grade is. You always go forward. I mean, even now in graduation, they don't care about what your numbers are. They care about how much, if you did any community service.
Take care,
Do you
Dagmar.
have your community service hours? Well, you can't graduate until you get your community service hours up. But I'm a straight A student. You got to have your community service hours up. What the hell is that all about? That to me was just that to me, that was a red flag right there. Because my daughter was a straight A student. She put in 80-hour work. She was gone. She didn't have time for community service. And she was busy.
Al, that's incorrect. Yes,
I had to take time off.
Done the kids in school thing. Stop. Al, you make a lot of assumptions that are just fucking stupid. So you got to stop thinking you know shit that you don't fucking know. Al's over in the freaking network.
Oh, okay. I'm not on that one.
Santa Cruz. People, that's ridiculous too. Like, I'm from Canada. Canadians are the most educated people on the planet per capita. So number one most educated people on the entire planet are Canadians. We're bitching about the fucking education system, and not just me. The tons are like, holy crap. Yeah, it's not like I don't have any friends and there's not tons of friends with kids. Like, people got to take their heads out of their asses and stop assuming dumb shit. Be smart with what you're saying. Be logical, reasonable. Don't just be saying dumb shit. Good grief. Take care, Dagmar. Have a good drive home, and take care there, No Name Rick.
Yeah, I got to get off here in just a few minutes too. I got to jump in the shower.
It's all good. Yeah, I'm not going to be on too long because I wanted to talk about this specific thing. So I did a poll that might give us, well, that's not going to give us much with the trolls that fucking frequent my channel, but yeah, Santa Cruz, you don't understand. Why do some of you people keep thinking internally? Like, we have a global problem. Al's over in the freaking network, Wendy. We have a global problem. This isn't just specific to Canada, specific to the US, specific to Australia, specific to fucking the Netherlands. Like, it's not, and you're all so damn concerned about your own damn self that you don't understand that this problem is affecting everybody around the globe. And really, when you're all facing the exact same problem, like, should we not be working at it together? Like, oh, there's a good idea, but it came from a Canadian or a Dutch person from the Netherlands. So because I'm an American, we have to just ignore that because we don't listen to outside fucking sources. Like, stop with that dumb shit. It's ridiculous. Stop looking down your nose at people. Stop only thinking about yourselves. Like, bigger pictures. Bigger pictures. Oh, landing. Put user in timeout. Put the banner back up because people are dumb. Shirt people. What is it with shirt people? I don't like shirt people. Many of these people have been left behind by society and I understand why they're bitter, but the false narratives you push is toxic to society. No, Al, you are toxic to society. Very. With your false narratives.
Al's more for the, you know, the I hate to say
Al
it,
is,
leftist mentality.
no, we
Where
don't do left right here. But Al
I
is very,
know,
very racist and bigoted. Al has got to
yeah.
be the biggest racist and bigot that I know I've ever met on YouTube. And he calls me toxic because we push that the problem is worldwide. We push that there is no left or right. We push that we got to see beyond this fucking red and blue bullshit, and that both parties get their marching orders from people above them. Like, everything that we talk about here goes against all of Al's ideologies that are all fucking bullshit. So,
Well,
Al is,
he's for what's going on in the world. He's for what's going on in the world. He's for what's being
Al's a
put.
hypocrite. Al's a hypocrite. We talked about this the other day. Al doesn't believe that people should exercise their rights to say peacefully protest. Al doesn't believe he should exercise those rights unless he agrees with them. Like, get the fuck out of here. You said you defend people's rights to go protest even when you don't agree and even when you strongly disagree. To me, that's I'll go back to being asked about what happens when I encounter counter protesters. Protect them. Protect them. They have a right to be out there and protest, even if you disagree with it. If you disagree with it, doesn't matter. Protect them. Like, holy crap. Protect their right to protest, because that could be your right to protest that somebody wants to do away with. So, yeah. Al, stop being a bigot. Stop being a hypocrite. Stop being a fucking racist. Like, no, Al, you can protest all you want, but it needs to be for all people. Everyone deserves freedom. Yeah, Al, everyone deserves freedom. So if people want to go to protest something that you don't agree with, support it. Even if you don't agree with what they're saying, support their right to protest. Because it could be your right to protest one day when you disagree with something and you want to go out and protest. Like, that's what a lot of people on this the ones that don't understand can't seem to get through their fucking brains. Like, I have friends that totally are all jabbed up, etc. Didn't agree with all this, but damned if they do not support people's right to protest. They're like, no, I don't agree with any of this, but go protest. Because what happens a year from now when something happens that I want to go protest? And yeah, I don't understand these, especially the shirt people. The shirt people are ridiculous.
Well, that's not protesting, Chill. That's downright harassment and assault. That is an assault. Don't assault people. I mean, everybody was like, so nasty. And they're like, well, it's their right. No, that's an assault. It's different. Mm-hmm. Do not assault people. You stand on one side of the street and the other one stands in the other side of the street. You don't stand in the same crowd and assault people. Then you have a mob.
Al, see, you're talking about shit that you're fucking clueless about again. The military is not coming and taking away our fucking firearms. The police will be. They've already done it here in High River where I live with a gun grab back in 2013. See, Al, you make a lot of assumptions and really you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You like to think you know what you're talking about and you don't have the fucking slightest clue. You have no idea that your red and blue fucking parties take marching orders from World Economic Forum, New World Order agenda fucking people. Like, you don't understand that the fucking education system is being corrupted and dumbed down and etc. Like, do you want to forcibly inject people with your buddy? Like, you don't get it, man. You don't get it.
I gotta take off here. So
Okay.
I'll be in chat. I'll talk to y'all. I mean, I'll be in chat. Love you all.
Take care. See you in a bit, Kelly. Love you.
Okay. Love you.
So yeah, I'm not going to go too much longer here. Again, I got a poll up, but I wanted to discuss that for a few just to kind of get a bit of bearing where people seem like they've been a little lost lately and etc. And I can understand that. Yeah, 100%. So kind of wanted to put some feelers out. You know, do people have any hopium, or is all fucking destitute and lost, or how are people feeling type deal thing. So hey, Sassy Sweet. So all right on JJ. Kelly will be on in like an hour and a half. She does a crafting show every day, every weekday. Al, you're fucking clueless, man. I know what you know what we're gonna do, Al? We gotta go get the fucking, I'll post it in this one. I'll put it in both, actually. George tried to tell us a lot of shit. People are dumb. Didn't listen. So there you go, Al. You gotta go. You have homework to do. You gotta go watch that fucking video because clearly you don't understand what the fuck is going on. So good luck with that. He's in the dungeon on my channel, Cactus. It's in the freaking network where Al's sitting at. And yes, as far as I'm concerned, that's where all people should be, is the dungeon. But hope for the best, but expect the worst. Copy that, Mama One. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like, I think it's still possible we could try and fix this, but we're going to try and fix it, but we should probably be preparing for the worst. So yeah, that is assault. See, those people are dumb. All right, George Carlin, The American Dream. Check it out. You'd have to be asleep to believe it. Look after each other, take care of each other, have each other's backs. Peace, love, freedom.